Finding a beginning. My name is Steven Camden, and I'm a storyteller from Birmingham. I've written novels, poetry collections, stage plays, songs, radio plays, TV drama and film scripts, as well as live interactive theatrical pieces that I perform and tour myself. Growing up, I never met or knew a writer and never thought that people like me got to be one. Now, my work earns me a living, has won me awards and taken me all over the world. I've learnt that while not everyone wants to be a writer, anyone is allowed to be, because we all have stories to tell. In these short films, I want to share with you some thoughts, exercises and ideas that I found useful when trying to develop a new story. See, the truth is, I've been writing and sharing stories for over 15 years now, and I still don't fully understand the process. I'm not an expert. I've just finished a few stories. One thing I think that a few years of experience has shown me is that for me, it's not about getting to some sacred place where you have all the answers and things become easy. It's more about accepting and celebrating the messy chaos of excitement and doubt, the ups and downs of creating a world and characters to tell a story, and trying to enjoy the fun and hard work that comes with it. The amazing thing about stories is that it doesn't matter if it's your first time or your 200th, you never completely know what the journey will be. I think of it like walking. After 40 years of walking, I'm a bit better at it than I was when I was a baby, but I still fall over. Hopefully slightly less these days, but it still happens. I start writing a story feeling confident I can do it because I've done it before, but every single time I start, I have the same doubts and confusions when I took my first story steps. And I'm all right with that. You can't have the potential for magic without the potential for slip-ups. Okay, enough waffle. How do I start? Sometimes I have an idea of the kind of story I want to tell. Maybe I'm excited about the idea of a mystery, or I'm thinking a lot about family, or maybe I've been reminiscing a lot about an old friendship. Just general thoughts that feel like they might be something to explore. Other times, I don't have anything in my head. And the fun thing is, I do pretty much the same thing either way. I trust that whatever is interesting me will show itself as I develop my story world, so the most important thing to do at the beginning is to run with my instincts and use my senses. And use big paper. Listen, you hear that? It's a phone. A phone is ringing. Where is it? It's muffled. It's muffled because it's down the back of the sofa. What's the sofa like? The sofa's old, one of those beat up ones that's been sat in and snuggled on a million times. It's a kind of pale chocolate brown. The phone is down the back of it. Not just behind the cushions, it's actually fallen down the rip in the back of the old sofa and slipped down into the base like it has before. Whose phone is it? It's Zach's phone. Zach's phone is ringing from inside the base of the sofa, and it might be Melissa, so now Zach has got to get on his knees again and stick his arm all the way in and fish around like he's delivering a baby cow. Check it out. How long did that take? What have we got? We've got a person, Zach. Why Zach? I don't know. I always liked the name Zach when I was growing up. It seemed cool. So we've got Zach. We've got a place, his living room. We don't know much about it yet, other than there's a sofa. We've got some detail, the old battered sofa. We've got some kind of action, him looking for his phone, and we've got a hint of feeling. He's anxious about getting to it before it stops ringing because it could be Melissa. Who's Melissa? I have no idea, but she seems important to Zach. And just like that, we have the start of a world. Is it the start of a story? Could be. Why is Melissa important? Why does Zach care? Is it good news, bad news, important news? Is he waiting to find something out? I don't know the answer to any of those questions, but something about the scenario has spiked my interest, and that's what matters. See, here's something I believe. When it comes to stories, there are no wrong ideas. There are only interesting ideas and uninteresting ideas. Our job as storytellers, especially at the beginning, is to choose and follow the ideas we think are interesting and see where they lead us. It can be tempting to try and think about what we think is interesting to other people, but that's a slippery slope for two reasons. One, we have no real control over what other people find interesting. And two, if we try and write a story to please somebody else, we'll struggle to finish it. Before you started, starting is the hardest part. Once you've started, finishing is. And the only way you can finish a story is if it's interesting and exciting to you. Of course, the hope that it's a story that excites you will excite other people, but I truly believe that the reason people fall in love with stories and characters is because the writer poured their own passion and excitement into them when they wrote them. Trust me, I've got hundreds of stories that I've started and given up on. Things that I thought would be popular and make me a millionaire, they never last. We have to keep ourselves interested, and we do that by filling our story world with things that excite us. Right, so now I have a basic story world, all from zooming in on an imaginary phone ringing and then zooming out to find a person. I could have chosen anything. A knock at the door, the kettle boiling, the word Tuesday on a wall calendar. Don't overthink it. Choose a detail that feels vivid and build on it. So, Zach, the sofa, his phone, Melissa. On this foundation, I can build whatever story I like. All I have to do is choose my bricks. Maybe Zach called Melissa last night and left a message asking her to come to the party tonight, and it's mid-afternoon now and he hasn't heard anything back. Party. Whose party is it? I don't know. Marlon's. It's Marlon's house party to celebrate them all finishing their exams, and Zach has liked Melissa for a while, and he knows that now school's finished, he's not going to see her as much. Bam. It's working. We've got another person, Marlon. Friend of Zach's? Don't know yet. I do know that Marlon has one of those big houses that make for amazing parties, and I do know that his parents are away, so it'll be an all-nighter and full of everyone from school. And I do know that Zach has already tried on 13 different outfits, trying to decide what Melissa would find the most attractive. Maybe Marlon's a friend, a close friend, and the phone call is from him, not Melissa. Zach would never have the guts to call Melissa himself to find out, no way. But Marlon has a sister, Rochelle, and Rochelle is friends with Melissa. She'll know whether Melissa is coming tonight. He's got Marlon to ask Rochelle to ask Melissa to find out and then call him. Yeah, much better. Check it out. Now we know something that's happening, a party tonight at Marlon's big house. We know that Zach is excited and nervous about it because Melissa will be there and he likes her. In fact, tonight he has to tell her or risk missing his chance. Yep, I'm interested. Something about the idea connects with me. I remember the feeling. A mix of excitement and terror. I remember wanting to be noticed. I remember wanting to be brave. I remember embarrassment and laughter. Zach didn't even exist a few minutes ago, but now I want to know what happens to him. I want to know whether he gets what he wants and what happens at the party, and I don't even know his last name.